Should we start off right off the gate with the promo code?
Yeah, we should.
Use promo code podcast. Sign up for GOHUNT Insider or GOHUNT Explorer. Get yourself some maps. Get yourself some points in the GOHUNT Gear Shop. Promo code podcast. Sign up today for GOHUNT maps using promo code podcast. And that's how you do a promo take. You didn't like that?
No.
Come on, dude. They're going to like
the intro at first.
You just lead right in with the podcast commercial.
That's pretty funny.
Huh. All right, well, we're just recording now.
I think we should use the promo code podcast at the top.
Yeah, we will.
Do you want me to do it?
What day is
I
it?
got it.
Okay.
This is 5th day.
It's Friday.
This is the 5th day?
Yep.
Yeah,
We're going to
Friday.
do a day 4 update, day 5 update.
Okay.
All right, we're rolling. All right, folks. Back at you from Antelope Camp. Big Hunt guys here, and this is, well, we went to bed early last night because we were tired.
Yeah.
It was a long
We didn't go to bed that early. It still was, what, 10:30?
Yeah, it was still 10:30, but we did not record a podcast last night. So tonight's going to be a little 2-day update. So day 4, which is Thursday, day 5, which is today, which was a Friday. So
Yeah. Been in camp a while. Feels like it, doesn't it?
now it's starting to feel like a real hunt.
lot. Been sitting a lot. A lot of sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of a mental grind, isn't it?
It is. I've now sat in a blind for 4 full days,
Pretty sad a lot.
Dark to dark.
dark to dark, and I've spot and stalked for 1 full day.
Mm-hmm.
Today was probably the day that we've talked the whole week about the hunt's been going by really quickly, like the day. Today it just crawled by.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the
really?
one, huh?
And I only saw 1 antelope all day, so it's also probably why.
Yeah. It's interesting. Usually I find, like, on hunts like that where I'm doing a lot of, either sitting and glassing or I'm sitting in a blind or a tree stand, something like that. It feels like the longer the hunt gets, the quicker it goes by. It's like I adapt to it,
Yeah.
and I don't know what happens, but it just tends to float by.
Yeah, mine went by pretty fast today.
Yeah.
But I also saw a lot of animals.
What do you guys do in your blind to pass time?
Oh, I do a lot of things.
Okay.
Luckily, in a lot of the spots I've had service, so I could look at my phone. I brought a book. I've been reading.
Tell us about your book. You've really enjoyed today.
Born to Run.
Born to Run.
I read 100 pages today. That might be the most I've ever read one day in my whole entire life. Great book.
Funny.
Born to Run. Highly recommend it.
Do you play games on your phone?
No.
No?
Nope.
Not a gamer, huh?
What else do I do? I look around a lot.
Do you take a nap?
I usually try to take a nap right off the bat.
Oh, right out the gate.
Oh, really?
Like when the hours are the best.
No, in the morning they're not coming in that early.
That's funny. I always find that, like, when I climb in a blind, like for that first probably hour and a half or something, my anticipation's so high. It's like my head's on a swivel. I'm just constantly
really excited
looking
too.
and expecting something to walk in,
Which antelope it is maybe a little different. They're not going to come in right like a deer or an elk. But
Yeah.
I'm still excited because I have that,
Anticipation.
I'm used to doing that all the time.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And it kind of wanes throughout the day. And then, like, that mid-afternoon, it's awful hard for me to stay awake. I always want to take a little snooze.
Mm-hmm.
I took a 30-minute nap today. I set my phone alarm, and I set it on vibrate only, and I put the phone on my chest.
Did it go off?
Yeah.
It woke you up?
Yeah.
So you've been out for a full half hour?
Full half hour I slept.
Wow.
Out like a light. That was that's probably when it came in.
Yeah, you missed it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But let's quickly recap what happened yesterday, Thursday. So Thursday, you guys you shot a buck on the night before. We recovered your buck right away, cut it all up.
Yep.
And then we left Dave's buck overnight.
Yeah. David hit a buck right there before dark. Thought the shot was a little far back. He gave it maybe, hour and a half?
Mm-hmm.
And could still see it with its head up. So kind of just decided he couldn't really make a stalk that he felt good about without bumping it. And then decided to back out and leave it be, and we'd pick it up in the morning. It did look like a shot that was going to be fatal, and it was. Dave, I dropped you guys two off at your blinds, and then I ran out to meet Dave to try to help him find his buck, and he'd already found it. I mean, he found it in the first 10 minutes of light.
It sounded like it died in the same place we last saw it the night before, so it died overnight.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, the only bummer about it, I mean, coyotes got a tiny bit of one ham, it kind of got into it, but we have seen a ton of coyotes, man.
Yeah,
Oh my
a lot of
God.
coyotes.
Yeah, which is, potentially an issue. But I mean, for the most part, got all the meat, everything out. We processed it and just kind of quartered out for him in the field, and then ran back here to camp. And Dave actually had to catch a flight, I think, by 11.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
11:30 or something.
yeah, he had to really hit the road. So we got the meat put together, put it in game bags, hung it in the barn. Since I've ran it up, and we was lucky we have a freezer right within proximity, so I was able to take the meat up there. But yeah, he rolled out. I mean, Dave had Dave had a killer trip, I'd say.
We were talking about what a beast he is.
Yeah.
Came in here and executed perfectly, and then
3
had a
days
bounce.
killed.
Yep.
He also released a single.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Juniper and Sage. Check that out. Shout out Dave Brinker.
I think it's sagebrush and juniper.
Sagebrush and Juniper.
Yeah.
Dave was a cool guy to have in camp too.
Yeah,
Like
awesome
one thing I appreciate about Dave is his mood. He's always upbeat. He's always positive.
Good
He's always
vibes.
smiling.
Yep.
He's got good vibes.
Gotta have good vibes.
Yeah. And Dave has a podcast. For those of you guys who might be listening to our podcast and aren't aware, his podcast is called the Altitude Podcast. Relatively new. I've listened to a few episodes. They've all been really good.
Mhm.
He's just like he is in camp. He's a mellow guy.
Yep.
He likes to, good conversationalist, likes to talk to people, super friendly, just upbeat. So, check that podcast out, I would say.
I was super stoked for him too.
Yeah.
Like, we invited him on the hunt. He instantly, like he said on the earlier episode, like he hadn't even talked to his wife yet. And he's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
And then went obviously okayed it with his wife. But like he was so jacked to come here. He loves hunting antelope.
And he really didn't have that much time. Like 3 days.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
quick.
That's
Yeah, he had to get back for his brother's wedding.
Yeah. And
Got
I
it
would
done.
say, I mean, he made the most of it. I mean,
Yeah.
he sat when he felt like he should sat. He spot stocked when he felt like he should do that, and had lots of close calls. And then, ultimately paid off for him, and he got a nice buck.
That was a sweet buck.
It was a good bucks. Wide.
Wide.
Lays out. I love those bucks that
Yeah.
kind of lay out flat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was cool. But yeah, he got home safe and sound, and that was a fun hunt. It was good to have him in camp. And like I said, I think I'd met him before, but hadn't really had a chance to get to know him. But it was cool to get to know Dave.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I spent the rest of the day just kind of running errands. We were kind of running low on food. I ran back into town. I got some ice, got some food and some drinks, and just basically was kind of a camp
Doing chores.
host. Yeah, cleaned up, took some bags of trash in.
Good boy.
Yeah. So my day was pretty easy going.
The biggest benefit, I think, of your day, though, is you switched up our food, which has been a game changer. So Neville and I always talk about we're the worst truck campers ever. And we always think we're going to get better at it, but I think I'm never going to try to get better at it because we're always exhausted in the evening. We always think of these elaborate dinners we're going to cook. Like, oh, yeah, we're going to cook burgers. We're going to have tacos. We're going to have chicken and mashed potatoes and a salad.
He brought us salad.
Neville was the guy who kept saying we need sides. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, we need more sides.
Hard-boiled eggs
More
and
sides.
salad.
Well, you can't just have a slab of meat. You gotta have sides.
That's
We
what I
need
remember
more
having
sides, he
at
kept
home
saying.
now. So, yeah, you went and got us a bunch of freeze-dried meals.
Dude, close
Yeah.
that door. We got mosquitoes coming in here
Got some
thick.
mosquitoes coming in.
And I mean thick.
We got some thick
Man,
mosquitoes.
oh, man. We're gonna be getting eaten alive. You could just close the mesh.
Goes the
but
mesh.
Yeah,
If you
I'm
want us to sweat it out in here.
trying to find it.
There we go.
So, yeah, you got those freeze-dried meals.
Yeah, I made a trip to Walmart. I wish they had a few more.
He's down a little bit. Trails.
I just sat down.
No, you're just talking loud today. You're excited. I like to
Oh.
see that idea.
Yeah.
Yes, I made a trip to Walmart. They didn't have a lot of options as far as freeze-dried meals goes, but they did have some mountain houses, and you're right. I mean, it's just been when you get back as late as we've been getting, and you try to do a full dinner and a podcast, and have some
and hanging out too, because we wanted to hang out and talk to Dave, because we
Yeah.
don't hang out with him very often. So you want to have
yeah.
conversations and talk about the day. And
We were going to bed. I think those few nights. I think at midnight and getting up at 4:30, 4:45. So short
Yeah.
nights.
Yeah. It's these early season hunts when it doesn't get dark till 8:30.
mm-hmm.
Make for some long days.
Yeah, long days and short nights.
Because it seemed like in a November hunt where you're back in camp at 6 o'clock.
Oh yeah,
So then you do have time to cook dinners and
yeah. You actually could do something if you want to.
Yep.
You also had another exciting thing you did yesterday.
What was that?
What was it?
You jumped in a cattle tank and took a
Oh, I
bath.
did. Yeah. Yeah, I was so dirty. Just, you know.
You're dirty.
Yeah.
I'm filthy.
Yeah, I'm not as bad
I
as
didn't
you
even
guys
go
at this
into a
point.
tank.
The funniest part, though, I asked you if you just, like, put your feet right in a nasty cattle tank, and you said you put
Yeah, I had some paper plates. I just
Paper
stood on
plates.
those, so it wasn't
stood on
so
paper
gross.
plates.
Don't they float? How'd you?
I stood on them.
You had to put them in the water
Yeah.
and then just like
Yeah, just put my foot on it.
really place it in there. Huh?
Yeah. Yep. Took a bath out in a cattle tank. I found one that was pretty cleaned off. Wasn't, and I had some running water, that run out of the spout.
Oh, yeah.
So I was using that.
Underneath the spout.
I didn't get underneath the spout, but I
Did you
did.
think you said you got a thing of soap or?
I did. Yeah, I bought a thing of soap at Walmart, and I bought one of those, little loofahs that you get, and I stood out there and took a bath.
Completely naked.
Yeah.
Oh.
he said you had to do some stuff quick. There wasn't people driving by.
Yeah, I did it
I'm
quick.
glad
quick,
there wasn't someone
quick
driving by.
quick as I could.
Look
but
out there
yeah.
in the tank. There's some naked guy.
Bathing.
Yeah, I'm sure it was quite a sight. But yeah, I mean, a bath on a hunt like this is a real treat.
Hope you don't get any parasites.
Yep.
I think I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm all right. But yeah, overall, it's a good day. Not a bad day at all.
I mean, even in the, what are those, hot springs? I'm always worried about that parasite that goes up your nose and kills you.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
You're not supposed to put your head underwater. Did you put your head underwater?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you were nervous, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, you did a lot of chores,
Yep.
cleaned up,
Pulled
cleaned
some
yourself up,
blinds. Yep.
got gas in the truck.
Yeah. It's good. It's fun
Yeah.
to have a day like that every once in a while.
How was your day, Neville, yesterday?
Long.
Yeah.
Sat the whole entire day in a blind.
Your one struggle yesterday, though, was you were seeing antelope
Yeah,
not at your water tank, at other water tanks.
Yeah, it was like 11:30. There's a water tank. It's probably like half mile from me down that we knew about and we checked, and it looked pretty good. But we didn't put a blind on it, and sure enough, about 30 antelope went and watered that one.
How frustrated were you?
Real stinger. Pretty pissed.
That one
And then
bit.
what
huh?
sucks about that blind too is once the sun, it's not a good like afternoon sit because then the sun's like going
Going right,
right
in there, yeah,
right
you
in
face
there.
west. Yeah.
and just sweating.
So you never had any antelope come water?
Nope. Nothing.
Nothing.
But you got to see some. So
Yeah,
you
I
knew they
did-
were.
Yeah, there was definitely antelope running around, and then we ended up, trail picked me up, and we went and put a blind on it, and that's what I sat today, which it was a lot better. I did have antelope coming in today. Saw like 11 different antelope come in. A couple in the morning, a couple in the afternoon. I had a buck just walking around my blind all day long, would not come into water.
You think it's because you just put that blind there, maybe, or just because he's
Well, I saw him sitting in this one spot all afternoon. He kind of was walking around it, and then when we drove out, we noticed that there was like it looked like somebody dug a big hole, and there's like some tanks. So I don't know if there's water down in that hole that he was drinking out of. But yeah, he wouldn't come into water. I don't know if he already drank water or what his deal was.
Mm-hmm.
Playing hard to get.
But you had action today. You actually
Had
saw
action.
antelope water.
This is the
finally.
first time on this trip that I've seen antelope come into my water hole.
In range.
In range, 20 yards.
Did you ever
just
do a practice
laughing at me.
drawback?
No, I was too scared.
Scared?
I didn't
You
want to
thought that
spook
buck
him.
was going to
That's
slip
right. I thought that buck was gonna see him spook. I thought he was doing the old let Sally go in there and see how it see how it goes.
He's doing the old pump fake.
We'll see if Sally gets an arrow shot at her.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. It was good to see some, though, I bet.
Yeah,
It's probably
it was
pretty
nice.
exciting.
Yeah, and it was like I was saying in the morning. I saw him right off the bat, this buck, and he kind of was 200 yards and just kind of worked away from me.
Good buck?
Yeah, he's not too bad. Probably like similar to like Dave and Trills.
Mhm.
Not a giant, but just like a
Yeah,
decent
good
buck.
average buck.
Then I saw two more does. They walked by the water, didn't come into the water. I'm like, oh my god. All these antelope literally hate water. And then finally, it was about like noon, 7 antelope came running in right into the water. And then some more came in the afternoon. So yeah, it was like
Pretty
every
consistent.
couple hours I had
Yeah.
antelope walking around me.
Yeah, one thing I would note right here is, I don't know, we get asked, people ask spot and stock, right? I mean, what's the vegetation like out here?
Pretty flat.
It's pretty flat.
Pretty flat and pretty
there's
short.
No vegetation at all to hide behind.
I mean, it's like if it's ankle height, I'd be surprised in most places.
It's buzzed.
Yeah, it's pretty well buzzed, grazed off hard, and not a lot of vegetation in general, and really not a ton of topography even.
No.
It's pretty damn flat.
It's not really conducive to spot and stock, unfortunately.
Pretty tough. I think you could get it done. You'd have to really throw yourself at it for days and days and days, I think.
Even with the spots that do have topography, the vegetation is so low. Like it's hard to even get close.
Like sagebrush, really, like big sagebrush to hide behind. Like get your, behind it a little bit and work at them.
Yeah. Yeah. So Brady, what'd you do today? How'd your last couple days?
Yeah. So yesterday I actually moved over to the exact blind that trail shot his buck on Wednesday. Thought that'd be a good call. There's a lot of antelope in the area, and I hadn't been seeing anything. I kind of wanted to leave that tank I was at, or it wasn't a tank, it was a pond.
Yeah.
And the issue I kept thinking of, so like we're coming down the wire, and since my pond is like 200 yards long, it's only 25 yards wide, so you can shoot across it. But like, since it is so long, there is tracks, congregate at the one end where we put the blind, but there's also tracks in random spots too. And that one day I did have a doe come in at like 120 in water. It's like, so if I sat there again the last 2 days, I just had this vision in my head that I was going to have a buck come like at 150 yards in water, and then I'm going to be so mad because my blind's not in the perfect spot and not get a shot.
So is that out of sight, out of mind, essentially?
So it's like I can't do anything at that point. Like there's not any topography to hop out of my blind and go stalk that buck really quickly. Yeah. So I went to Trails blind, sat there yesterday. Right away in the morning I had 4 bucks out in front of me and like 6 or 7 does. They were at like 300 yards. Just walking around. These bucks were just hanging up by themselves, not with a doe group at all. And all of a sudden, I saw a buck. I had that little hill that's right in front of you. That's off to your left, and you're sitting in that blind. There's a buck just all of a sudden popped up. I think he was bedded there the whole time, and he was at like 180.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he saw those bucks kind of starting working closer, like towards the does or towards the water, and he started chasing after them. He just got rid of all those bucks, and all those bucks went to the north, which is towards where Neville was hunting. And then that buck, I was like, oh, maybe he's just chasing him off because he wants a spot. Like he didn't care about the does at all, but he just chased him off and stood there for a long time. And he's like kind of facing me. I was like, maybe he's going to come to water. And that buck, of course, just like Neville said, they don't drink. He just went straight to the south and went around this big knob, and I never saw him again. He was a really good buck.
Oh, really?
Really good buck.
Good buck.
Mm-hmm.
Son of a gun.
Dang.
Not an absolute giant, but like
nice
I think
buck
bigger than what
for
we've
this
been
area.
seeing.
Yeah. Dang.
And so then I sat there all day thinking like, okay, like he's going to come back. He's probably on the backside of that hill somewhere. He's going to come up and over, same direction that your buck came from.
Yeah.
Never showed up. I don't think I really saw any antelope at all the rest of the day. No, I think I saw some way off in the distance, kind of towards where Neville was at, but never had anything come to water. Got to listen to that giant windmill banging.
Yeah, clink.
Oh, yeah, every 5 seconds seems like it bangs against the side when that thing pumps.
Did that bug you, or did it ever become like endearing a little bit?
Yeah,
that might put me right to sleep. You might get hypnoptized out there by that thing.
That's what I was just gonna say. I actually found it really endearing. Like it would, you kind of catch yourself. And it was just part of the whole landscape,
But the one thing I did appreciate at that blind though, there was so many different types of birds. Yeah, like no joke. I enjoy that's the one part I like about sitting in a blind, or it's not boring to me. I enjoy watching wildlife. Like I always say, I enjoy watching wildlife as wildlife is meant to be. They're just doing their thing. I'm not disturbing them. So like I had all these birds fly in. They were walking around in front of my blind. They were hitting that like natural little like pond that's near the tank.
Did you ever have one land on top of the blind?
No.
I had one try to fly in one.
Yeah, today I had a bird fly in my blind, and it was freaking out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I had to shoot out.
No kidding.
So that was part of it really cool. I got to watch a bunch of different birds, and I could see them like going onto the metal tank, and they were trying to like lean themselves in. And I had my 16 power binos up looking at them. I was like, that was cool to like watch all these different birds that I normally don't get to see. But I wish there were antelope actually getting water. But
all my birds were the same. Man. What are they're all the same birds that were sitting in my water.
Yeah, I saw some different birds. I did see a lot of birds on that blind.
But the other
hot
day, spot for birds over there.
Good water.
Yeah, but the other day when I was sitting in the natural pond, it was all like those like snipes and those long-billed ones, like picking up bugs. So this is like a totally different thing. These are like songbirds, or I don't know what they were. I forget.
I didn't know you were a big bird watcher.
I like to watch them. I've forgotten a lot about birds because I don't hang out about birds a lot.
You don't know that I've seen a fair number of killdeers. Do you know what those are?
Killdeers, yeah. Those
I
are
thought
super
that'd be
cool.
your favorite bird. Killdeer.
What's a killdeer?
The ones that
It's
make all those like screeching noises
Yeah,
when you come around them.
they
Like,
run around on the ground. They're a ground nester. They're kind of a cool bird.
mm-hmm.
I kept seeing one that kind of looks like an owl that was on the ground.
It could have been an owl.
Could have been an owl.
Could have been a burrowing owl.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah, probably was.
Mhm.
Yeah, you find those quite a bit, like in relation with prairie dog
Yeah.
mounds.
That's what I saw yesterday for sure.
That's really cool. Those are cool birds. They nest underground.
Pretty badass.
You have to read a book about them next time you have a blind
I
set.
didn't know you guys knew so much about birds. I'm gonna need to pick up my game.
I have a lot of bird books in my house. A lot
Really?
of like National Audubon.
I took ornithology. I liked it.
You guys are biologists, so
Yeah, we are.
It was good.
So yeah, I actually did a lot of reading yesterday too, which was kind of enjoyable. And then didn't see any antelope. And then today,
Brady's been having some rough sits.
He has had some rough
like I
sets,
was
no
saying to you
shit.
guys earlier too, I think this is just the world telling me that when I gave up bow hunting, I'm not meant to bow hunt ever again. Because like I'm not getting anything thrown my way luck-wise at all. I'm just not seeing anything water. I'm not seeing barely any antelope. I'm sitting the same place as you guys are. And that's why even today, like I went back to exactly where Dave shot his buck
Mhm.
and had all those other does. There was some other bucks in the area. We've seen bucks scouting when we were over there. And I also had this thought today too, like I'm switching blinds, chasing success as much as LeBron James changes basketball teams,
He's chasing the title?
championships. So I wonder
Not
if that's
even-
like
So what are you
not
gonna
a good
do?
thing.
Not anymore, dude. He just signed an extension with the
I
Lakers.
saw that.
You got to go with your gut.
So I'm going with my gut tomorrow, and I'm sitting back the same blind I was in at Dave Brinker's spot.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm going to sit there again, I think.
Gotcha.
I think it's my best bet, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. It's been consistent for
Been
sure.
consistent.
Yeah, I mean, since we've got here, it's been the one blind that seems to have always had an antelope on it,
Mhm.
during the day. So
And then so like to walk through my day, like I think it was, so as you guys know, I saw, well, audience doesn't know, but I told you guys already, I had a lot of coyotes today.
yeah,
I had 5 coyotes come in and water, and 3 of those coyotes I called in to literally less than 5 feet from my blind.
what were you doing to call him in?
Just like the lip,
Just
like
Kissing?
kissing at
Yeah.
them. Came literally, I waited till they watered, and right away they would walk away from the water source because it was a natural water spring. I start kissing at them. Instantly, they lock on the blind, and they literally come walking right to the blind. Like I literally at one point had to lift myself up to see the coyote right on the edge of my blind. It was that close.
Huh.
And so a couple of them, I just had the, my camera with the 7200 lens. I was taking a bunch of pictures on them.
Yeah.
Another one, I had my phone out taking some video. Like all came in, and I again back to like me loving nature. Like, yeah, I could have shot all those coyotes because they all came in like singly. But I just wanted to sit there and enjoy it, and I didn't want to shoot something, burn some arrows, and then have some scent around there. Maybe an antelope would come in and freak out. I don't know. I just had these random thoughts in my head of like, I'm here to hunt antelope, not to shoot a coyote.
That's right.
Even though shooting a coyote would probably benefit the antelope,
Yeah.
the fawns later on, but
Yeah.
I just
don't know.
enjoyed like soaking it up because like that's a cool experience. I called in these coyotes right to my blind, and they're literally standing there. They were there for a long period of time, just standing next to my blind, like looking around, like trying to figure what's going on. Then they'd walk off.
Yeah, that is cool.
So it was really fun.
We have seen a lot of coyotes.
Yeah, piles of
A
coyotes.
ton.
Yeah.
I saw one today too, running in front of my blind.
I saw one today.
And
Shut
then,
up! No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Big one.
No, they're all small.
They're tiny.
they're
These are
very
the
small
smallest
coyotes
coyotes
here.
I've
Yeah,
ever
they're,
seen.
they're not real big.
They look like pups.
Yeah, none of them. I mean, I'd assume they'll look a little bigger once they get their full winter coat on, but they all look pretty small.
Yeah, dinkers.
And then so I sat there almost all morning without seeing a single antelope, which is very weird not seeing it. But this blind also is very tight. There's not a lot of stuff you can actually glass from the blind.
Yep.
You can't
But if
look out.
Yeah, it's kind of got to look out and just you see the
You
same
can't
thing
like
over and
glass
over.
it
Can't
too
really
much.
glass it, no. You can't even like glass behind
That's
you. 'cause
why
of
you
the
hate
little
that
rise.
spot.
Yeah, that's why he kept spot and stalking.
I think I said that's why you hate that spot.
Oh yeah, because I love glassing. Yeah. But I finally had an antelope. I saw it on a ridge. It was about 900 yards away at like 9 a.m. I could just barely see it, and of course, like 10 seconds later, it went over the ridge. And that was literally the only antelope I saw until about 6 or 6:30 tonight. Maybe it was like 5:45. That same antelope I saw, he ended up looping around that little knob and came from the south back the same exact direction he had exited, same ridge, fed a little bit. I was like, well, he's crossed the fence. Now he's in the same field I am. He was 380 yards away this time. Maybe he's going to come in.
Mm-hmm.
So I started like getting ready, pulled up my like face mask and made it all black in there and just got totally dialed. He just keeps feeding and ends up feeding right to that stupid ridge again. Pops right up and over right where he was this morning, and then
Gonzo.
gone. And that was the only antelope I saw all day. Those just 2 encounters with that same buck.
Yeah.
But I did see, like I told you before, I saw a rabbit. But after that, I saw 2 rabbits.
Whoa.
Yeah. I saw a hawk on a tree branch.
Okay.
And
Iowa
5 coyotes.
Hawkeyes.
Go Iowa Hawkeyes.
Iowa Hawkeyes.
Shout out.
Shout out to Iowa Hawkeyes. They're going to be good this year?
Should be good.
But yeah, pretty slow day for me.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of making me hard to go back to that spot. But I also know, like, I need to be consistent. Like, I've been bouncing around these blinds, and I've been bouncing around spot and stalking. Like, but I did set the same water twice, that pond. I set trails once, and now I'm in Dave's spot again for hopefully 2 days in a row. Like,
Right.
there's got to be something happening.
Go to the Mossy Oak blind, Brady.
Yeah, I haven't seen an antelope.
We haven't seen
an
an antelope there the whole time.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. I drove out there today and glassed that whole valley and didn't see any.
There's got to be one.
Yeah, I mean, there's some, to the west of that. I did see like 14, but it was probably another 2 miles.
But then my also thought was, like, so Dave killed. You guys actually quartered his buck out in that field, but that buck literally walked. It looked like 100 yards from that carcass was. But the only part I'm concerned about is all the coyotes in the area.
Sure.
Maybe those 5 coyotes are there because of that carcass. They've already probably cleaned it up. But maybe that's why the antelope are a little skittish and didn't want to come in this area today. But they also had all day of yesterday, too, that the coyotes could have done their thing. And now it's rested for 2 days, so now tomorrow could be really good.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen coyotes in close proximity to antelope.
Yeah.
The whole trip. It doesn't, I mean, I'm sure there's some predation there, especially when those fawns are first born, but it doesn't seem like.
Yeah, they're not going after that.
Yeah, like I told you earlier, too.
They
I
can't
saw
catch
a
'em.
coyote, like, literally 50 yards from an antelope, and the antelope was bedded and just watched it walk by.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts in my head of what I should do tomorrow. Tomorrow's our last day.
Gonna have to sleep on it.
Yeah. And what do we got? We're talking about hunting until noon.
Yeah, if we leave at noon, we'll get back to Vegas at like 1 in the morning.
Yeah. So Trail, unfortunately, has the horrible job of packing up our camp while we're hunting. He's gonna go pull that out of the blind.
Yep.
Pick up the Baku bike. We have staged out there still that we didn't return.
Yep.
And fold up the tent.
Full up camp.
Pack up my suitcase.
Pack your suitcase. I got it, man.
Sleeping pad in my.
Yeah, all of it.
You can roll it up our sleeping pads for us.
Yeah, man.
No, don't do that.
Why?
That's weird.
Just throw it in the bag.
I don't think it's weird. I'll take care of it. We'll be locked and loaded.
I don't want you doing all that work.
And Trail also spent a lot of time today skinning out the heads of both those bucks.
Yep.
You did Brinker's and yours.
Yeah, skinned out the heads, got the eyes, everything out, got those cleaned up, so it makes it a lot easier when you get home to boil them out and do a Euro for them.
Yeah.
Also did a review on the new
Yeah.
Ultraview Button. How'd that go for you?
That was going to be my next little talking point. You have it in your hand right here. So
Yeah, I've been playing with it. It's hard not to, it's like a fidget spinner, right? You just sit there and click that thing. Yeah, so new release from Ultraview Archery. It's the button. So, I mean, you guys are familiar with the Hinge 2. I think you're still shooting a Hinge 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a thumb button release. So it's brand new, just launched for those guys today on the 19th. I think I got this one maybe about 3 weeks ago, so I've been shooting it. I haven't really been able to consistently shoot a thumb button release for probably 10 years. It's not the release, it's just the issue between my ears. And just haven't found one, even though I know there's some advantage to hunting with a thumb button or a trigger finger release. I mean, it just gives you that option in a hunting situation if you have to command a shot or in the wind. Or, the great thing about this is you can hook it up to your D-loop and let it hang, so that's
so
great.
people who are listening right now and don't know, you hunt with the Hinge.
Yeah, I've always hunted with the Hinge, for like 10 years. But yeah, I got this release, I started playing with it, and I just felt good. I mean, it felt consistent. I was able to shoot really good groups out to 100, 110 yards, and like I said, there are definitely some advantages to shooting a trigger release in a hunting situation. So decided to hunt with it. It worked great. Yeah,
I've been really enjoying the knob. The knurled knob on here,
it
really feels comfortable. It's a good feeling on your thumb.
I think that's like one of my. And I told those guys. I told Colby and Chris B when I talked to them when they sent the release. I said it's probably kind of a maybe a silly comment because I don't know that that's like the big wow factor for that release.
Yeah.
But yeah, that spiraled knurled knob, it really does kind of sit nice in your thumb, and it gives it just enough purchase
Mm-hmm.
that I feel like I can pull through my shot, relax my hand, and I get a real similar sensation that I get with shooting a hinge release.
Yeah.
It's a nice fluid release.
And like my thought on it too, because like all the other thumbs I've ever shot, it's basically that same textured knob you have on like a barbell.
Crisscross.
Like
Mhm.
like if you're like going to the
Mhm.
gym and you grab a barbell, it's like that same thing. And like this, for whatever reason, just feels totally different. It feels like it gets centered on my thumb, exactly the same every time.
Yep.
I can feel it when I need to, and I don't have to think about it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the other thing I like about a thumb button, which I'd kind of forgotten, is that it gives you the ability to put more pressure evenly across your fingers as you pull that thing back, because you're not really worried about the angle of a hinge, which is what makes a hinge go off. But I found that like my anchor point feels like a little more consistent. I don't know, that sounds weird, but for some reason it does feel like a little bit more consistent. It's like
Probably a
easy,
little more comfortable.
a little more comfortable in my hand, and I'm able to pull with my hand, and it's a little more relaxed. One thing I would say also about this is like I have the stainless steel version. You have the aluminum version,
Yeah.
so they did send us two.
The stainless steel one is a beast.
The stainless steel is heavy, and that's one thing I like about it.
Oh wow, that's a lot heavier.
I like the weight of it in my hand.
Feels like a brass release.
Yeah.
Yeah, I weighed both of them. I think that one's like 2.5 ounces heavier than the aluminum.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I really enjoyed too, because it's like a hook design,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a hybrid because it has that little foldable section right there. So all you do is click it. You don't have to worry about getting that jaw around and pushing it with your finger.
Right.
You just basically slide it right in your D loop.
Yep, pops right in.
Ready to go.
Super slick.
Yes, I did a little video review. I think I heard today we have them in the GOHUNT gear shop. Have them on Tuesday. I think they're doing pre-orders. So
They're
by
out
the time,
now, for
by
sure.
the time
Right
you guys
now.
hear these, you can buy them at the GOHUNT gear shop.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, I didn't think I'd be able to ever shoot a thumb button well enough.
And it came in handy because you had to hold back forever.
Oh man, I held
Yeah.
back for so long. Yeah.
Frontal shot. See you later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't we hear too that you were the first person to take an animal with?
Yeah, that's the first animal taken with one of those.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Thanks, man.
I'm sitting here with
Nice.
a legend right now. We don't even realize
This is
it.
the killer right here.
Yep.
Wow.
26-yard frontal.
Later.
Yep. He didn't feel a thing, I don't think.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah. That was impressive. Full penetration from the chest clear out the back end.
Yeah.
That was something I haven't seen. And the blood trail was impressive.
It was impressive.
Yeah.
It wasn't? You didn't need to do any blood trailing because it literally was 20 yards behind.
Yeah.
The antelope.
Yeah, but
Died,
it was a carpet.
So, yeah.
Yep.
New release.
Yeah, new release. Tomorrow, last day.
Last
We
day.
got till noon. I think you guys are both going to get it done.
That's right. That's the spirit.
Yeah, good vibes only.
Good
Appreciate
vibes
it.
only. Maybe I should take the button out.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I could definitely shoot it.
I don't know. You might impact it weird for me.
No.
But yeah, good luck tomorrow. Like I said, I think it's going to happen, and we'll get everything locked and loaded and ready to go back to Vegas, and we'll catch you up when we get back with a successful trip with 4 dead bucks.
That's right. Amen.
And promo code time for all you guys.
Promo
listening.
code.
Promo code podcast brought to you by Brady Miller. Hit it, Brady.
All right, yeah. So you guys know we're doing a little promo, try to help you guys out. We want you guys to have the best of the best research, and we want you to have the best maps possible. So to give you guys a little kickback, use promo code podcast when you sign up for Insider. That's all of our draws, Filtering 2.0, Insider-only articles, gear rewards in the gear shop. Promo code podcast will get you 50 points back to the GOHUNT gear shop. So that's $50. 1 point equals $1. Great way to put some extra gear in your
Should
hand.
add that sound effect in there.
Ching!
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, I
There you
like
go.
that.
And then if you want best of the best maps, you're going to want to have our Explorer membership, which is basically our maps-only membership. Also gives you access to Point Tracker and gear rewards. So that's going to be available on the web for all your e-scouting, and then all the mobile device as well, iOS and Android. So use promo code podcast. You get 20 points to the GOHUNT gear shop. So hope you guys use that. And as always, too, if you guys like the podcast, definitely leave us a review wherever you check out your podcasts. We greatly appreciate it. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know that trail needs to speak up louder on the podcast. Just
Yeah.
give us any feedback you got.
Trail needs to speak up. I need to stop cursing, and Brady needs to quit mumbling.
Mumble rapping.
You think those are the biggest complaints we get? No, it's usually our podcast is too quiet.
Too quiet, yeah.
That's not our fault, though.
It's not our fault.
That's right.
And I just get
I blame the machine.
And I just get excited and want to talk more about hunting because I enjoy these things. And so
Yeah.
I'm a quiet-spoken guy to begin with.
We're just not good at controlling our volume.
No.
On the volume control.
We'll get better at it. But yeah, that's day 5, I guess day 4 update as well of Antelope hunt. Tomorrow we're getting it done, boys.
Getting it done. First thing in the
Give me some
morning.
good love,
There we
Neville.
go.
Whoa,
Good
all
vi-
3 of us.
Good vibes
Okay.
only.
Bring it in.
Bring it in.
Power punch.
Wow, that was good. See you guys later.